Hey guys, it's Darkrai Defender here, and I want to just introduce you to the new Ghost module update. In this update, there's going to be two new items added into the Robocraft game. One is the Ghost module, which is like a invisibility cloak. And then to activate it, it will draw your power. And what will be able to be seen by players is a shimmer effect. You and allies will be able to see it. However, for the enemies, it will be less easier to see. One thing to note about this is that taking damage will deactivate the cloak. Also, activating another weapon will deactivate the cloak. You can stay cloaked for up to about 10 seconds even with the power module, and cloaking will disable the lock-on missiles. Also, with disabling the cloaking effect, health regen and alignment rectifiers will be visible, so you can't, if you try to regen health or you flip yourself over, people will be able to see where you are. Actually, on the alignment rectifier, that will only take 3 seconds instead of the 10, and only has a 1 second cooldown compared to the 3. And the Ghost module will have a CPU of 305 for flops. The other weapon, or other module that's going to be introduced, is the Ion Distorter. It's basically, they've described it as a massive shotgun. It does a lot of damage up close at point blank range, but it dramatically decreases the further back you are. So even mid-range targets take hardly any damage. It fires an array of 20 projectiles all together in a wide spread, and it will deal a fixed amount of damage for each one that hits. Each shot takes about 25% of your power, so you've only got about 4 shots before you have to fully reload, and it costs 245 per flops. This Ion Distorter is Ion Distorter is probably one of the things I'm most excited for, because one of the things I was thinking that Robocraft needed is more of a upfront and personal sort of thing. A lot of things is done from afar, like snipers or plasmas, and while this probably won't change a lot of that, it will give a weapon that you don't actually have to physically touch another weapon for. So like with the Tesla Bytes, or whatever they're called now, before you have to actually physically touch it, but with this at least you can, if you're in like point blank range when you've landed your aircraft fallen out of the sky and you've landed on top of someone or something like that, you can now fire point blank instead of being like stuck with a plasma that's stuck upside down. I don't know, but it should be interesting. And then what they've done is they've done some more level balancing with other existing weapons. So the Araflak now has perfect accuracy when it's fired from the ground, but has a bit of inaccuracy when fired from the air. The Proto Seeker does a lot more damage now per second, pretty close to an SMG, but it's got limited range now. Its cone of lock is bigger though, so fair trade I suppose. So it's easier to get a lock on, but you won't be able to fire as far. And they've recommended for weak mid-range targets. So maybe like a small plasma bomb or something, like you stick it in front of that, be good for it. The Tesla Blades actually no longer consume power and have increased damage per second, but they have a diminishing returns now. So sort of like the SMGs and their fire rate. So this is sort of like what's happened with this new Ion Distorter, is now that they've got another up close and personal, it's sort of become more of like a dagger, like no power, you can still use it regardless. Now, I don't know if you have to select it for it to work or not. I imagine you still would, but I don't know. It definitely feels like it will be sort of become more prominent now that we don't have to use power for it, and you can just have it there ready. Wheels have increased their carrying capacity to 50%, by 50% I should say, and the effective drag at top speed has been decreased by 80%, so thrusters will become all the rage in cars now. And they've also increased the grip. What they have done is decrease the turning angle, so when you're going fast, we really won't be able to make much good of a turn. But this has actually all been done to because of the overturning, like with the extra grip. So if we were going really fast, and now with that extra grip, we will grip onto the road and just basically do a 360. So I think that's mainly the reason why they've done it. And we should be able to get like a lot less sliding effect happening. Hover blades now do not like slip down on slopes, and also they have 25% more max speed and the 25% more max carry. They also have, like, for all tiers of the hovers will now have self-leveling, which is a really cool feature, and less drag at max speed. Also, they've got a lot more lateral dampening, is what they've called it, so basically you'll come to a stop quicker. Insect legs, while we're on transport, has increased its carrying mass by 50%, so we can carry a lot more before losing their max speed. Mech legs have just had their speed increased by 30%, and tank tracks have had a 10% speed increase. Also, they've made it a bit more easier to go up steep slopes. And then there's just a lot of bug fixes with collisions. So that's the new Ghost update. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it when it comes out in a few hours, and I'll let you know what I think of it. Bye.